Hello, guys, and thank you for watching this video. So, basically, this video, this is just going to be a form of a video that I make concerning a little bit about just basically the type of food that I'm going to prepare today. You might wonder, what does a half Brit, a half British, half Asian, or Vietnamese with a little bit of Chinese relatives in the family eat typically growing up in American culture, secluded from growing up in America and having to find out later in life that she's of British descent. So, in other words, what does a half Brit, a half Brit who grew up in America, surrounded by Americans, eat on what is some of the type of foods that they eat on a typical day? Well, in this video, I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I eat. And the type of food that I have prepared for myself is an economical little meal that I have prepared. And so what I have, so I said it's economical. It doesn't. It's quite economical. So what I like to eat is something. So what I'm about to show you is it's like the equivalent of, say, if you're going to prepare a burrito, except it's actually. So what I got here is a can of a meal that you can buy in a can, and so this is very similar to what spaghetti is, except it's actually except it's ravioli instead, but it's not. But it's cheese ravioli and tomato sauce. So this is what I got here. So this is the economical meal that I'm preparing for myself. Is actually a cheese ravioli, as you see, in tomato sauce. I said, so not only I'm going to couple this can of raviolis with a side dish of a little bit of vegetables in my diet. A little bit of vegetables in my diet. And so for this particular meal that I'm going to prepare, what I'm going to use, the side vegetable that I'm going to use is actually, for this particular meal, I'm going to couple this cheese ravioli with some sliced beets. And so this is actually sliced beets, but it's pickled. Now, if you look at sliced beets, obviously it doesn't look really, it looks really reddish. But as I said, it looks very reddish when you look at it, when you're trying to look at it and see if you want to eat it or not. However, the thing about this sliced beets, as I said, is that it's pickled, so it gives you definitely a very vinegar-ish kind of a sour, salty kind of little tang to the meal. And so, as I said, I'm eating the main dish that I'm actually preparing is a cheese ravioli and tomato sauce. Now you're wondering, does this, if you eat this right off of the can after having opened it, does it taste good? I mean, is the flavor coming off of cheese ravioli basically, is it well round? Does it taste? I mean, does it taste okay or well rounded coming off of the can itself? And I would say, if it actually, does it actually taste well rounded coming off of the can. To that, I would say not really, but what I did is I actually, so here is my meal that I have here. So this is this is my beets here. If you can see, this is my sliced beets. If you can see, my sliced beets and my ravioli. So sliced beets here and ravioli. And so you're wondering, does it taste okay off of the can? To that of which I would say, not really. But the thing about this is I personally have gotten to really enhance the flavor. I was going to the store one day and I decided, wait, I really want to buy some cheese seasoning because I thought, well, it might go pretty good with some of the meals that I cook. And so I decided to buy cheese seasoning. And so I actually got a can of a grated Parmesan cheese, and people use this to add as a topping on their pizzas that they may have, or stuff like this. So this is what I got here, which is Parmesan cheese, Kraft Parmesan cheese. And so people wonder, as I said, if this actually tastes good. And so, as I said, you're wondering if this ravioli right off the can of cheese ravioli, if it tastes good. And I would say, well, you could actually enhance the flavor using the Parmesan cheese that I got. And so that's what I'm going to do, is I'm actually going to season my, so what I'm going to do, as I said, is I am personally going to season my ravioli here with this Parmesan cheese. And this Parmesan cheese, I've actually tasted it. It has a very sharp, salty taste to it. So there's definitely substance, there's definitely flavor coming off of this Parmesan cheese. And so it definitely adds a really great flavor to my cheese ravioli. And so that is my meal that I'm actually preparing. And I said this is actually a very economical meal to eat. This is just cheese ravioli with some Parmesan, great sprinkled onto it. So this is the cheese ravioli, and this is my sliced beets meal to add a little bit of a pickled taste to my meal. And I top it off with some homemade coffee. And the brand of coffee that I got is actually quality coffee, guys. And I really like it. It's quality coffee. And so I top my meal that I prepared here with some homemade coffee. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. That is basically my video for today. And so that's just basically some of the typical meal that I eat in a normal typical day. So if you're wondering what does a person who grew up in Asian culture, living in America, who later found out that she was British descent, eat in a normal, typical day? In other words, what does a half-Brit in America, living in America, eat? A half-Brit who didn't find out that she was British until a little later in life, normally eat in a typical day. And so that is my video on what I eat. And that's just a normal, typical kind of food that I eat. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, I didn't do any. It's just and that's just my video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you.